So this is a reading for the week ahead for the week of October 16th, 2022. So this week I feel like you're going to have some things highlighted surrounding what it is that you most desire. And I feel like there are going to be some desires that come up that aren't really your desires, if that makes sense. More like shadow desire, ego desires, things of this nature, but you're going to have those things come up. And they're here to have you examine them, it's almost like they're being presented to you once again like a cycle to see if it is what you're going to be taking with you into your next cycle. But I feel as though with this card being in reverse, and this being a Persian cat, which, they have the grumpy faces, I almost feel like don't let a part of you mislead you or outside influence mislead you into choosing the wrong thing here. Like with the Nine of Cups, it can mean like greediness when it's in reverse, but it's not the word greedy that's coming to mind for me. It's just more like misaligned. And this could be related to karma, why it's coming back into your life. Or it's not even to say it's coming back into your life. Maybe it's this thing presenting itself to you once again. But I feel like you've had this presented to you beforehand. Or maybe too, there's this fear aspect surrounding it. Like if I don't choose this, or if I go this new route, if I do this new thing, this different thing, there's a fear of losing out on something you think you have that you actually really don't have. So, whatever that means to you, this week ahead, you've gotta know thyself. You've got to be sure about you and what you want. And because I feel like this has to do with how you're moving forward in what you're wanting to create, how you're moving forward in what you would like to put out into the world. It has something here to do with your passion or your career or your desires. It has a deeper root than how it's presenting itself on the surface. And superficial, I think, is a word that's coming to mind. Superficiality. So I think when I was saying not greed, but it's superficial, it's just surface, but it has a deeper root for where you're headed. So this week ahead, just be sure what you're keeping with you, or what you're taking with you, or whatever presented itself to you. Is it something that you really want, or is it something that a different part of you wants, somebody else wants? Next up, we have for what you need to know. So Ace of Wands and the Three of Cups, for what you need to know about this week ahead, is that there's a new opportunity here presenting itself to you, a new passion. Maybe this is going to be far-fetched. Maybe this is going to be something that you never thought that you could have. And maybe that's why we're getting this question it, pay attention to what is yours, what you want to take, because there might be two possibilities or two opportunities presenting themselves, and one that you're more comfortable with and one that's very new to you. But I'm gonna say that it looks like this new thing, this thing that you haven't done before, this kind of out of the blue thing, it's going to be what's in alignment with you. It's going to be really what's most in alignment with you, and it's going to bring to you those things that you've been wanting more in your life, whatever they may be. If it's friendships, then it's bringing in friendships. If it's love and loyalty, it's bringing in those things. But there's a connection here with the relationships and this other opportunity. And it's not to say you're going to find the love of your life if you take this opportunity. But I feel like maybe unexpected friendships, unexpected relationships lie here in this. And you're just so in alignment with, it's like harmonizing for me. Maybe this is towards relationships and moving forward in relationships too. So this opportunity might be with somebody you know. I don't really take it as like a career opportunity. It's just some type of opportunity that will spark some type of drive in you, spark some type of passion here. Maybe you've had a really stale relationship for the past couple years too. You haven't had a lot of friendships coming in. Maybe you've cut a lot of people out and you haven't seen a lot of people come in. There's just this aspect here of the water starting to move in that area again, things starting to churn, things starting to move. And I feel like this is one of those movements that isn't fast or slow. It will just happen when it happens. And it will be spontaneous almost. It will be, did I already say this, out of the blue? Just something just that just catches you like, hey, it was really nice to meet that person or something like that. But this is like almost a push so that we start having the right people around us, people that we harmonize with more, to bring more harmony and more of what we desire, things that we're wanting to be more in alignment with. Because the things that we want to be in alignment with, the things that we do want in our physical lives, we have to put ourselves in those spaces. And I feel like that's all to say that whatever's happening here is putting you in the right spaces. What to focus on this week? Focus on what is making you happy, what is sparking you, what is giving you that drive, what is really giving you peace on earth, like what is giving you those things that you most want, what is making you happy, not the other bullshit. Don't focus on how you can gain from an opportunity, what you can take away from it, or how much money. Don't focus so much on the material aspects. Focus more on how it makes you feel. We're looking for that fire within us to be going off when you do feel this. I feel like by focusing too much on the material though, it's gonna lead you to this Nine of Cups in reverse again. It's not going to be the most beneficial thing for you. So be really fair with yourself in the situation and circumstances that come up. Don't cut yourself short with like thoughts that aren't gonna be best serving for you. Like, oh, I can't do that, that's like way outside of this realm. I'm gonna say, if you're wanting it, go for it, if it is something you significantly want. Because I have a feeling that you tend to beat yourself up a little too much when it comes to this area, and that self-doubt and those thoughts that aren't building you up, the ones that are pulling you down, they have more of an impact than you might know or understand. It just feels like a deep impact here, and it's gonna put you in alignment more so with what you're trying to leave than what you are wanting to move into. Let me see if there's any other messages from Spirit. 3 cards kind of flew out at once from 3 different areas, so I'm going to take all 3. We have Judgment, 9 of Pentacles, and then we have Temperance in reverse. So remember that 9 of Cups from the beginning here? We had this one. I'm going to start with this 9 of Pentacles because these two are connected here. See, this is what you think you want, but this is actually what you want. So remember that as I read these cards. So this is a moment where you are being called forth. Your soul's being called forth. This is something that is going to be a strong pull for you. It's I want to say strong pull, but it's not going to come off as a strong pull, but it's going to keep nagging at you. It's going to be like calling you back. So maybe it's something that's called you back before and you've put it off to the back burner. You didn't take it in. You didn't walk down that path yet, and it's here again, and it's like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still something that you most want and desire. Come back. And so this is what's happening right now. It's being called forth. This part of you is being called forth again, maybe even in a different way than the last time. Maybe it's like in a more feasible way this time, or either way, it's here again because your soul keeps calling it back, because it's what you really desire. It's what you really want. You did all right with the other stuff. I don't feel like you had significant tower moments, or you experienced excessive amounts of misery. And maybe that's what's keeps pulling you back to this Nine of Cups, because it's kind of working, but it's not all the way working. It just don't feel right. It feels off still, because it's not this Nine of Pentacles. It's not giving you, it's not fully grounded in what you want. It's not, because it's not for you. It's not what you want. 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 That's what just keeps coming through. I know what I want. And it's this fully, and I'm thinking grounded, compassion, nurturing, this nurturing aspect, this thing that's going to nurture you, to help you evolve and help you grow, and to actually give you the pleasantries. So maybe this thing over here was just kind of working, and it's like, I got to work a little harder, and I'm going to make it work too. That comes through too. But the reason why we can't really, so the reason you can't get to this place is because we're letting this dictate where we're headed. We're letting whatever this aspect, why we keep choosing these other things instead of what it is we want. This is why we can't get to that place of being satisfied, because we're not feeding ourselves what we actually want. We keep feeding ourselves this rather than this. What would happen if you actually gave yourself this? What would happen to this card if you actually received what you needed and were able to blossom in that way that your soul is now calling you forth for? So that is the final message here. It's almost like a question. What would happen? What would happen if we satisfied ourselves in those areas that need to be satisfied in, despite what people think, despite what you think, when it comes down to those parts of you that don't really give us what we need? They just give us what kind of will make us feel better. Okay, that's not the way I want to say that. The parts of us that don't really give us truly what we need, but they help us to get through life. It's almost like it's time to take care of this here. It's time to take this and turn it around. And I feel like the path of least resistance here for you, the most direct path, is giving yourself this. Really taking that time, or taking that risk and going for it.